And welcome back to this special edition of Hannity Road to the White House. Now, here's part 2 of my interview from the campaign trail with Republican nominee Donald Trump. Take a look. One of the things that has been amazing being on the trail with you is watching the rallies. A lot of people see them on TV, so they see the podium. But the cameras never pull back and let people see what 20,000 people screaming are like in a political rally. And I'm curious, what's your understanding? What is it that Americans are saying when they come and they're acting like almost like groupies at a Rolling Stones concert? I mean, I have nothing to compare this to. I've been in a lot of political events. Nothing is going on that I've ever seen quite like at one of those rallies. What is that about?
Well, right now, right after this, you're going to be introducing me in front of 12 or 13,000 people in Orlando. And it's, and that's not even, you know, I mean, we have 25, we have 30, we have 40,000 people.
Whatever the seating capacity is, you have that, and you have people standing outside. I mean, that's
We're restricted by seating capacity. I mean, basically, it's been an amazing experience. You mentioned one thing, though, it's very funny, because if I had a network, I'd want to show all the crowds because it's going to be better television. They never pull it away from my face. They have it on my face. And I'll go home and I'll say to my wife, did you see what I did? She said, yes, how big is the crowd? And they never show, unless there's a protester. They show the protester because that's a bad thing. In other words, if you have a protester, they consider it a bad thing. So if there's a protester, we don't have too many protesters. You notice we haven't, we had a little surge, but the Hillary people don't have the same passion as the Bernie people. Well,
the reason I don't have any protesters, there aren't that many people.
They really don't.
100 people show up.
Yeah, it's amazing. She doesn't have big crowds. The whole thing is strange to me because she doesn't have big crowds. But they never show the size of the crowd. And you would think that they'd want to because it's better television. It's good for ratings, et cetera, but they never want to. They never pull that camera back unless there's a protester. But we've had tremendous. I'll tell you what, the level of spirit for our country, the level of love for our country. You see the people, they're in love with this whole, I'm a messenger. I'm merely a messenger. I'm a messenger of ideas that they've wanted for years. You know, many of these people haven't had a pay increase, and they're making less money now than they made 18 years ago in real wages. And they're working much harder, and they have 2 jobs. Obamacare has taken care of that, but they have literally 2 jobs. So they're getting older, they're working harder, and they're making less money. And it's very, very sad. And we have, look, we have all people, we have everybody. You know, they like to say that we have people, this and that, they like to define. We have everybody. But so many people today are working harder than they did 18 years ago, and they're making less money. And it's not supposed to be that way. And they're angry and they're upset, but we're going to change it. We're not going to let our jobs go. There are going to be consequences. When countries come in and they take our business, there are going to be consequences. Right now, there are no consequences. And it's so easy to handle. And we're not going to let them make their product and just send it right across our borders and sell it into our country. And we end up with unemployment. We end up with grief. We end up with no taxes. We end up with so many different difficulties. So it's so easy to solve. Everybody understands that. The politicians don't do it because their lobbyists and their donors don't want them to do it because they benefit on the other side. But me, I'm putting up my money to run my campaign, and I don't care about the lobbyists, and I don't care about the special interests, as you know.
Yeah, it's been pretty apparent that that's not been the driving force. And I think it's one of the reasons that people have been supportive. You're a disruptive candidate. You're disrupting the institutions that have failed America. And they see that, and they believe it. On a personal level, at the end of the day, when you're absolutely given a 20-hour day, which I've seen you now do,
right?
What is it that gives you the satisfaction of believing, I'm glad I'm doing this?
The people are so thrilled. You'll see that in 20 minutes when we go into this massive place where we have all these people. A friend of mine came and said, you know, how do you get up and speak without even looking at notes or without teleprompters, and you have all of these people, thousands, 10,000, 5,000, 25,000, 35,000, and he's a very successful person. And he came to one of the rallies about 2 months ago, and he saw these thousands of people, and I said, you know, it's easy because there's so much love in the room. And you understand that. You've seen it. There's so much love in the room. They want to see America be great again. You know, my whole theme is make America great again. And I've added to it. America first. We make deals where we're making deals. It's almost like we're making them for other countries. We have trade deficits that are massive with Mexico and with Japan and with China, with Vietnam, with everybody. And it's almost like, are they doing this on purpose? How can anybody be so foolish or so stupid? And we're going to change it around. But we have Make America Great Again, Make America Safe Again, America First. We have to say safe again, too. When you see what Hillary Clinton wants to have come into the country, she wants people to come in from the migration. We have no idea who these people are. They have no paperwork. There's no way of vetting them. You know, you've spoken to the same top law enforcement officials as I have. And she wants to increase what Obama is letting in, which is thousands. She wants to increase it by 550%. It's not going to happen.
Thank you very much. Great to visit with you.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Good to see you. Well, it was a lot of fun being on the trail with Donald Trump. I enjoyed it and appreciate his time. Coming up next on this special edition of Hannity.
We're going to build it up, and we're going to make it strong, and we're going to make it powerful, and hopefully we're not going to use it other than to knock the hell out of ISIS. We have no choice.
Well, Donald Trump promises to get tough on ISIS as a new congressional report shows that military officials altered intelligence reports. That was to make the fight against ISIS look more successful. Dr. Sebastian Gorka and General Tony Tata they'll both be with us with reaction for that. And then later,
Hillary, your response to Donald Trump, and he said it before.
You make me listen to him for 25 minutes. That was torture. So unfair.
You loved every minute of it.
Really, I don't
We're in the business of we're clearly in the business of torture.
the liberal mainstream media continues an all-out attack on Donald Trump. Larry Elder and Doug Schoen, they're going to join us. That and more as Hannity continues.